Hey everybody, Vampyre1444 here. As promised, I'm going to show you my Hammer Horror collection. There's also some Amicus films, some Tyburn and Tygon that are there as well. It's by no means complete. There's still quite a few that I want. Got some in the post that are coming, hopefully. So let's go have a look. Right, as you can see, that's my collection of Hammer ones at the top, Amicus, Tyburn and Tygon at the bottom. So let's go have a look. First off, we have The Brides of Dracula, which is absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. It's the second one that Hammer did, and it doesn't star Christopher Lee, it's Peter Cushing, and David Peel plays the main bad guy, which is Baron Meinster. That's in there. What's interesting is he actually retired from acting pretty much after doing this film. He had enough, which is a shame because he was a good actor. It's a really good film. I can't remember I think it's in black and white. I can't remember. The back footage shows it as black and white, but I could have sworn it was in colour. But never mind, it's still an absolutely brilliant film. Peter Cushing's brilliant as always. You can't fault him, he's just so good. And yeah, it was a really outstanding film. Like I say, it didn't have Christopher Lee in it, but yeah, excellent film. And after that, we've got Dracula, Prince of Darkness. Now, Christopher Lee's back in this one with Andrew Keir and Barbara Shelley. And what's really good about this one is, even though Christopher Lee's got like the main title, which is obviously Dracula, he doesn't speak at all. I'm sure this is one where he doesn't speak, but he doesn't really need to because he's got such presence as Dracula. You know, it eliminates all need for him to speak. But it's a really good film. One of the iconic ones of some tourists being stranded in the woods by the carriage driver. They end up in Dracula's castle, and the servant kills one of them, brings Dracula back, and Dracula goes after the rest of them, and they're protected by Andrew Keir, who plays I think he's a monk. And what also I like about this is the ending. Now in most vampire films, the vampire is killed by like a stake through the heart or exposure to sunlight. This one, they go back to like mythology that says vampires can't cross running water, and what they do is he drowns. There's a frozen lake, and Andrew Keir starts shooting the ice, traps Christopher Lee, who eventually falls into the water and drowns basically. So I like that. You don't see too many variations of how vampires are killed in films, but so that's a nice one. This one is Dracula's risen from the grave. Christopher Lee's back in again, and it basically kind of follows on from the last one. The villagers are all scared of the castle, even though Dracula's been dead for years. So the local bishop forces the local priest to come with him, and they put a big silver cross up on Dracula's castle to ward off all evil. And the priest panics, slips down, I think he rolls down the hill or something, cuts himself, and the blood drips into the frozen lake, and it goes down and resurrects Dracula. And Dracula, he's a bit miffed when he goes to his castle and sees that he can't get in it because of the cross. Decides to take revenge on the bishop and the bishop's family. Yeah, really well played. As always, the blood flows. The blood is really good, really red, as is the trademark of most Hammer films. A really good one in the series. As is Taste the Blood of Dracula, which again, Christopher Lee again. This isn't really linked to the last one. This is... Oh, well, it is. Sorry, it is. Because, what's this one? Yeah, there's 4 gentlemen who are like pillars of the community. But in secret they visit brothels and things like that. Because they're looking for excitement. And they run into this bloke who says he can offer them the greatest excitement they'll ever have. And he persuades them to buy these artifacts, which is, I think it's a ring, a cloak, and a vial of Dracula's blood. And the guy drinks the blood, but the other 4 refuse and run off, and the guy dies. But it resurrects Dracula, and Dracula decides to take revenge on those who killed his acolyte by seducing the children of the 4 gentlemen and getting them to kill for him. Really good one. Probably, in my opinion, the last of the great Dracula films, because the one that followed after that, which is Scars of Dracula, again Christopher Lee, I don't think is as good. I think this is when the turning point of Hammer's Draculas. There's just there's nothing new in it. Dracula's in his castle, terrorising the village. Yeah, there's not really much to say about it. It's just the same old thing. Scars of Dracula, like I said, terrorises the villagers. Yeah, still watchable, still canny, but not the greatest. And after that came Dracula AD 1972. Now, a lot of people hate this film. I think it's absolute rubbish, but I actually like it. I think it's a nice change to bring it into the modern era. Yeah, it's really good. Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing's in it. Peter Cushing is back as Van Helsing. Stephanie Beacham's in it, and it's really, I think it's really good, really well done. To see Dracula resurrected in the 70s, surrounded by the hippie culture. And yeah, I think it's not too bad of a film, but like I say, most people they don't like it, but each to their own. And the last in the Dracula series, well, the proper Dracula series starring Christopher Lee anyway, because this was the last one he was in, is The Satanic Rites of Dracula. Now, I think this is a tired film. It's basically Dracula's in charge of this big company. He's a businessman now, and he's trying to create a virus to wipe out humanity. And you got Peter Cushing back as Van Helsing, and yeah, it's just Van Helsing trying to stop him. And what makes the difference is Dracula's got helpers in the form of like a biker gang, I think it is. That does his dirty work for him. Yeah, it's alright. I see it's watchable, but not nowhere near my favourite. Then after that came The Legend of the Seven Golden Vampires. Now, like I say, Christopher Lee's not in this. Peter Cushing is. He's back as Van Helsing. And this is Hammer trying to cash in on the kung fu craze which was going around in the late 70s, because Hammer was kind of like starting to fall apart then. They were losing influence and they needed something to like revitalise their reputation, but it didn't work with this, and I don't even think this got a cinema release in America. I think it just got released in Europe and possibly Asia, but it's alright. It's nowhere near as good as the other ones. You've got Chinese vampires, and we've got like a zombie army, and it's a group of kung fu martial artists trying to defend the little town against the vampires, led by Dracula, who he plays Dracula. I forget what you call him, but he's only like that at the start of the film because he transforms into that guy there. Yeah, it's watchable. It's okay. And the next is a box set with, in my opinion, the best vampire film ever, which is Dracula. Also in America it's known as The Horror of Dracula. And it is just an absolute superb film. Christopher Lee, Peter Cushing at the best. It was the first Hammer Vampire one, and just everything about it is brilliant. The script, the acting, the set is brilliant, and it's fast paced. It's loosely based on the Bram Stoker's book, but with a Hammer twist, and is absolutely brilliant. As is The Curse of Frankenstein. Even with all its technicolor blood gore, really excellent adaptation of Frankenstein. With this time the rules are reversed. Christopher Lee plays the monster, who was pretty much a good guy, and Frankenstein is the obsessive professor, obviously, who brings him back to life. And as the series goes on, he does kind of like become a bit more evil, completely obsessed with his work and not bothered about what he does. And the third one in this is The Mummy, which is Hammer's first adventure into the mythology of the Mummy films, and it's really really good. Again, Peter Cushing is back as the good guy, and Christopher Lee plays the Mummy, and it's a really really good film. You can't fault any of them. I think they're probably some of the best that Hammer have done. And the next is Hammer House of Horror, the Vampire Collection, which has Countess Dracula, Twins of Evil, and Vampire Circus. Now, the Twins of Evil is part of the Karstein trilogy, but Countess Dracula is absolutely amazing, with Ingrid Pitt as the lead character, who finds that if she bathes in blood of young women, it rejuvenates her, makes her younger. And again, it's just well acted, really good film. Same with Twins of Evil. Peter Cushing's in it. He plays a good guy, but he's also a bit of a bad guy, because he plays the leader of a religious group who has no hesitation in burning women for being witch. If he thinks they're witches, he just goes out and burns them. Yeah, it's really good. Like I say, it's got two actual twins playing as nieces. One becomes a vampire, the other one doesn't. And yeah, it's a really really good film. As is Vampire Circus, which is, I think it's, if I can remember it, local village destroy the vampire, and a few years later a circus comes to the village, and people start going missing. In the village, the circus people are actually acolytes of the vampire, and I'm sure they bring him back to life, and it's about the villagers trying to fight back and destroy him. But all three films are well done, really good entries into the vampire collection there, as is Vampire Lovers, which is part of the Carstein trilogy, again with Ingrid Pitt. Now this was a bit controversial because there was female nudity and lesbian overtones, but it's really well done. Again, Ingrid Pitt plays the lead vampire who's seducing her way through this village, and the villagers obviously trying to fight back against her. Really well done. As is the third part of the trilogy, Lust of the Vampire. Now, Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing aren't in this one. Instead, you got Ralph Bates, and it's basically a English boarding school for girls. There's a vampire amongst them, and it's up to Ralph Bates' character to try and find the vampire and save the girl that he loves. And it's got lesbian overtones, a little bit of nudity, which caused a bit of controversy. But yeah, really well done. And another one is Kiss of the Vampire, which again is a good film. It's about a honeymoon couple in Bavaria, and they fall under the influence of a local. He's a doctor, and there's like I think he's a vampire, and there's a vampire cult, and they're trying to get them to become vampires. It's well done. Again, typical Hammer film. Really good. And then after that is this box set with Captain Kronos, Vampire Hunter, with Horst Janssen, Caroline Munro. This was actually really good. I liked this one. And from what I can read, Hammer were hoping that it would be a success, and if it was a success, they were going to do a TV series. But apparently it wasn't a success, so it was all abandoned, which is a shame because it was good. Really good film, as is Frankenstein and the Monster from Hell, which is the last of the Frankenstein films, set in a prison. It's kind of like the same old thing. He's obsessed with bringing the dead back to life, and he's experimenting on prisoners. But again, great Hammer film. I say the last of the Frankenstein films. And this one is Revenge of Frankenstein. Again, follows on from the next film. Rescued from the guillotine because he was going to be executed. He goes about his business of trying to create a monster and bring life back. Not really much you can say about Frankenstein films because all kind of like got the same premise. Evil of Frankenstein, not as good. It was okay. Again, it's just Baron Frankenstein returns back to his hometown and starts trying to create a monster again, which again goes on the rampage. And then you've got Horror of Frankenstein. Now this doesn't star Peter Cushing as Frankenstein. Instead it's Ralph Bates as... I don't know if he's a member of the Frankenstein family. But it also stars Dave Prowse. Is it Dave Prowse? Yeah, Dave Prowse, who played Darth Vader. He plays the monster. it's alright. It's not too bad. Not the best by far, but it's watchable. And then after that you have Frankenstein Must Be Destroyed. Peter Cushing back as Frankenstein, with Simon Ward as his helper, and Freddie Jones as the monster. It's alright, along the same lines as the other ones. You know, trying to create life from death. And then you've got Frankenstein Created Woman, which is a good film, really good film. Peter Cushing back. It's a bit different because he's trying to, instead of trying to bring the body back to life, he's trying to transfer the soul of the person, I think it is. And he does it with a murdered woman and brings her back to life. She takes revenge for her killing. Yeah, really good one. Different take, like I said, different take on the genre. And then we have The Curse of the Mummy's Tomb. I think this is the second installment of, yeah. Again, it's the mummy coming back, being brought back to life, seeking revenge against those who have disturbed him. Not too bad. Quite good. Now this one, Blood from the Mummy's Tomb, originally it was going to star Peter Cushing, but unfortunately Peter Cushing's wife died at the start of the filming of this, so he dropped out and Andrew Kerr took over. And it's an okay film. It's not the best that time I've done, but it's watchable. I haven't watched it in a while actually. I'll have to revisit it, but it's okay. I'm missing the shroud of the mummy, or the mummy shroud. I'm missing that, so I'll have to get that one. And next one in the collection is Plague of the Zombies, which is Hammer's only venture into the zombie genre. And what's different about this is it's not flesh-eating zombies, it's more traditional zombies, where it's set in Cornwall and the local lord is resurrecting dead bodies to mine a tin mine for them, because nobody will work in it because it's unsafe. So he's got a bunch of like well-off snobs who help him, and he crosses the wrong person, tries to turn her into a zombie, I think it is, and a husband or fiance is fighting back. That's him there, and it's really, really good. Andre Morale's in it, and it's a really, really good film. A few good little moments in it, with the zombies coming out of the grave in a dream sequence. Really good film. Now, the next film, obviously they did a vampire series, they did the Frankenstein series and the Mummy series, but they only ever did one werewolf film, to my knowledge, and that's this one, Curse of the Werewolf, which is absolutely brilliant. Oliver Reed and plays the lead character. It starts off, his mother is raped by a wild man in a prison, and she has him as a kid, and I think he gets adopted, but he starts changing into a werewolf, and it's really well done. The makeup is really good. That's Oliver Reed there as the werewolf, and it's just a great film. It's a pity they didn't do more werewolf films. But I think Roy Ward or Roy Baker did this effects on it, I think. Could be wrong. But yeah, a really, really good film. Like I say, it's a shame they didn't do more. And next we have The Witches, which is Joan Fontaine's last film, I believe. It's about African voodoo, I think it is. and it's a nice little departure, a good little film. Like I said, not the best, but it ventures into witchcraft instead of like what Hammer normally does. As is The Devil Rides Out. I really like this film. Christopher Lee's in it as a good guy this time, and it's about the devil worshipping, and Christopher Lee's got to protect those people there from a cult, because I think it's a guy stumbles upon a black mass or something, and they go out after him, and Christopher Lee's trying to protect them. And it's really good, really well done. Like I say, it's another one where it's completely different to what Hammer would normally do. And next one, To the Devil a Daughter, which is satanic rituals again. And Natasha Kinski plays the victim. Demhum Elliott is a priest trying to help her, along with Richard Widmark, who's an author, I think he is. And the two of them are trying to protect the young girl from Christopher Lee, who plays the bad guy, the leader of this cult, based on Dennis Wheatley's bestseller. It's a really good film. Really recommend that one. And next we have The Gorgon, which is the Medusa. Now both Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee play good guys in this. The Gorgon is terrorising this small town. It's a European village, and it's about them trying to find her and kill her. It's really good, actually. Very good. Even the makeup is good on it. The snakes are a bit rubbery, but you can get past that. And the next one is The Reptile. Now the makeup's not the best in this. Jacqueline Pierce plays the creature. She's a beautiful young girl, but she transforms into the creature. And it's about them again. She's terrorising a small little town, something like in Cornwall, and it's about a group of people trying to find out what's doing all the killing. It's not too bad. Like I say, the special effects aren't the best in it, but it's watchable. Now this is X the Unknown. It's an early Hammer horror. It's done well before the Dracula ones, and it's really good. It's black and white. It's about beings that live in the earth, and they feed on like nuclear, like radiation and all that. And it's like kind of like a big massive blob, like big blob thing. And as it feeds, it gets bigger and bigger. And it's slowly making its way towards a power plant to feed off the radiation or something there. It's about the scientists and government trying to stop it. It's a really well done film. Like I say, it's an early one. I don't think it says the year, but it's 1956. Down there, 1956. But it's a really good monster flick. Really recommend it. As is The Abominable Snowman with Peter Cushing, made in 1957 as well. And it's a really good one. Don't need to see more. The Abominable Snowman, but a group of hikers in the Himalayas. They come under attack from the creature, or they're trying to attack it. It's really well done. Really nice film. As are the next ones, which I absolutely love. This is Quatermass Double Bill. It is Quatermass Experiment and Quatermass 2. Again, early Hammer ones. The first one's Quatermass sends a rocket into space. It comes back. Two of the crew are dead, and the third one is being infected with something, and it's slowly transforming him. And he needs, I think it's blood or something, because the people he kill are kind of like decayed. and it's a really good film. Quatermass 2 is aliens are trying to take over the Earth. They've got like this big power plant, and they're in charge. The aliens are running it, and it's they're both really good films, early Hammer films. If you haven't seen them, I highly recommend them. As with this, I absolutely love this film, Quatermass in the Pit, starring Andrew Kerr as Quatermass, and it's basically they're digging a railway tunnel, like a metro train tunnel, and they come across this thing, that metal thing that at first they think it's a bomb, and then they find out it's actually a spaceship, and it's full of psychic energy and evil, because the creatures came from Mars. That's, you can't really see it, but that's kind of a thing there, kind of like insect creatures, and they're trying to colonize the Earth millions of years ago, and they take early humans away to change them and then send them back to Earth. But this vessel crashed, and apparently the culture of the aliens is they wiped each other out, they wiped themselves out. But as the humans uncover the vessel, the evil that's inside, and like the psychic abilities that's inside the ship, comes out and starts infecting people. And it's a really good film. I've watched this quite a few times, and I still enjoy it. And the next we have the classic horror collection with Hands of the Ripper, The Monster, and The Uncanny. The Uncanny is Peter Cushing, and it's basically about cats. He believes the cats are actually evil, and it's the cats trying to kill him. Basically, he's trying to prove that the cats are evil, but nobody believes him. It's okay. It's not too bad. Hands of the Ripper. She's the daughter of Jack the Ripper, but she doesn't know it. But subconsciously, her subconscious starts waking up, and she starts killing people. But it's alright. And I wasn't a big fan of The Monster, which is Joan Collins and Ralph Bates. She gives birth to a baby that's possessed and hates humans and starts killing people, and only a nun believes that the baby is possessed. Nobody believes the nun. But they're okay. I think all three are kind of like later entries into the Hammer genre. And last me Hammers is Hammer House of Horror. All 13 episodes of the TV series, which was pretty much the last things the original Hammer studio did before they folded. It's a bit of hit and miss. There's some good stuff there, there's some not so good, but it's Hammer, so I had to get it. And next is, this is all gonna fall, me Amicus, Doc Terror's House of Horror, which is brilliant. Peter Cushing creatively, anthology of stories, which is, Amicus seem to do a lot of stuff like this. Like I say, it's okay, it's well worth the watch, nice little stories. The same with The House That Dripped Blood. There's a couple of good stories in that one. And The Vault of Horror. Again, some good stories, some bad ones. And The Beast Must Die, which is a good little werewolf one, kind of like a whodunit, because it stops near the end, and it gives you time to try and guess who the werewolf is. It's basically about a bunch of people who get invited to this big mansion, and the mansion's owned by a game hunter who believes that one of them's a werewolf, and he says he's going to find out who it is and basically hunt down and kill them. The werewolf's a bit of a letdown when you eventually see it, because it's basically just like I think it's an Alsatian dog I'll try to make it look like a werewolf, but the film itself is okay. And next is a Peter Cushing collection, I Knew They Would Fall, and it has And Now the Screaming Starts, Asylum, Flesh and the Fiends, and the Hellfire Club. I haven't seen Asylum Flesh of the Fiends and Hellfire Club yet, because I got this not long ago and I haven't had a chance to watch them. I watched And Now the Screaming Starts, which is about a woman who marries a guy whose family's got a curse and put on them. And it's okay, nothing special. And the next is The Creeping Flesh, Peter Cush and Christopher Lee. And this is I think it's a Tyburn. Let's see if it says. Yeah, I think it's a Tyburn release. And it's basically the scientists find an old skeletal body. And I think it's rain brings it back to life and starts killing people. But it's alright. Not the greatest film, but watchable. And now this I love. Blood on Satan's Claw. I'm going to get the Blu-ray of this. It is really good story of witches. This is a Tygon release, and it's basically about a small village being harassed by devil worship. Well, not devil worship. I think they were like witches, like a cult of witches, and it's about them hunting them down, and it's really good. Waited ages to get it because it used to be quite hard to get, but got a DVD release and I was able to get it near enough as soon as it came out. I really enjoy it. It's good. As is this film, Witchfinder General, with Vincent Price as oh god, what you call him again? Matthew Hopkins, yes, the Witchfinder General. It's basically he's going around, he's corrupt. He's supposed to be like hunting witches and all that, but he takes payment and he kills people who he wants, accuses them of being witches and everything, and he double crosses the good guy because he wants his fiancée or something. So he frames him, I think it is. And Michael Reeves' last film, I believe, I think he died in the 60s, a young director. But it's really good. I think in America it's known as The Conqueror Worm for some reason, but over here it's Witchfinder General, and it's a really good release. Well worth the watch. Great acting, good effects. Yep, really excellent film. And at the moment, that's my entire collection there. And like I say, there's quite a few more I want, and they're all being released now on Blu-ray, but the prices are still quite high on some of the films. So I think the films that I'm missing, I'll just keep getting them as DVDs and just wait for the price to drop on the Blu-rays before I start collecting the Blu-rays. But I hope you liked it. If you do, give us a thumbs up and leave a comment. And I will see you next time. So, bye bye.